there's a famous line from a movie, if you build it, they will come. And boy, have they ever come. For Dawn Staley here in Columbia, South Carolina, she has built this program into a powerhouse nationally. They lead the nation in attendance, and today 18,000 people. This place is packed to the rafters. It is so loud and so crazy. Even Kim Mulkey from LSU said they've had to work on hand signals this week so she can communicate with her team when they're on the other end of the floor. She said, you know what, the only difference is we're used to loud buildings. Tonight they're going to be against us, but composure and poise will be crucial for both teams on the floor with this loud and crazy environment. Let's go.
There's only 2 undefeated teams left, and they're in this arena right now.
And both of these teams, they go about it about the same way. They want to defend, and then they want to clean it up with rebounds. Who will control the glass today?
Angel Reese and Victoria Saxton will start this game for us. Immediately, it's to Zaya Cook and a layup for the Gamecocks. This LSU starting 5, Kim Mulkey had to piece together this roster. They lost 80% of their scoring. She didn't know what she was going to have coming into the season.
Well, when you get a transfer, number 1 transfer in Angel Reese, that's a great piece of the puzzle to build off of.
It's going to be last touch by LSU, and it will be South Carolina ball. Already a quick bucket from the Carolina Gamecocks. South Carolina's starting 5, you know the names, but it's the players coming off the bench that makes them even more dangerous.
Oh, the depth that South Carolina has, and when they go to their bench, they don't only get bigger, they get faster.
Kira Fletcher running the point. They work it inside to Aaliyah Boston, who's working against her old teammate, LaDasia Williams.
I don't believe LSU can play Aaliyah Boston one-on-one. There was no double team that came that possession, so it'll be interesting to see how Kim Mulkey mixes up the defense on Boston.
This is LSU's by far their biggest test of the season, just their second-ranked opponent this season.
We talked about covering Aaliyah Boston one-on-one. LaDasia Williams, no help really came, or if it did, it was too late, and when you are, you can forget about it when Aaliyah Boston gets the ball in the block.
LSU trying to get into Alexis Morris, and it's stolen away. Great defense by Kira Fletcher. Too easy. And Kim Mulkey has to call a timeout. 6 points to start this game for South Carolina. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Edward Jones. Life is for living. Let's partner for all of it. Edward Jones.
Gates attacking the paint, and why? Because they have got the reigning National Player of the Year that reads the floor so well. Watch as soon as Aaliyah Boston gets the basketball, she's going to recognize that the defender turns her head, and that allows her to drive to the middle of the basket. And once everybody sinks to the middle, then look, she works her magic, little up and under and a finish. She is so masterful with her court awareness and knowing how to use what, when, and where.
And she is projected to be the #1 pick in the WNBA draft. How good is her skill set translating to the WNBA?
It's perfect. She's got a great body, but the thing about it is she is pro ready. She thinks the game. She understands already how to be a professional.
Angel Reese with the shot. And it goes off of LSU. Kim Mulkey called a quick timeout. Holly, a 6-point lead for South Carolina, and they had to take a break.
Well, Kim didn't like how her team started that, but she said in the huddle, everybody take a daggum deep breath, and they did. She was frustrated that 2 of her players lined up wrong from the opening tip. They have talked about their assignments, everybody calming down, and she wants to start over right now, get their assignments correct.
Here's the big difference for me, Holly, is the experience of South Carolina players playing in these big games, in these big moments. I mean, 4 of the starters played for a national championship together. We talked about LSU. They have 4 new starters, and they are now really experiencing and learning how to play at this level.
And 9 newcomers on this LSU roster. Just their 2nd-ranked opponent of the season. Angel Reese trying to show off a little mid-range. Remember, she has 23 straight double-doubles to start the season. Has not scored yet.
Looks like LSU, they have decided to let her score it from outside, as LSU is going to dare Aaliyah Boston to shoot it from outside as well.
And Alexis Morris, slow to get up for LSU. She's going to try to walk it off. Look, this is a key player today for LSU.
Morris goes up for the rebound. Can't really tell. She's trying to walk it off.
Now, this is a player who has upped her game. She's averaging 21 points per game over their last 4. A player who played for Kim Mulkey her freshman season at Baylor. Coach Mulkey actually kicked her off the team, but then found her way back to Mulkey here at LSU as she goes to the locker room.
And Morris is the only returning double-digit scorer for LSU from last season.
Angel Reese working on Boston. Banks it in. First points for Reese.
And Reese is that kind of emotional player. Her buddy, her partner in crime, gone out with an injury. She's looking to attack, but Zia Cook said, hang on.
Cooking.
Zia Cook, her maturity this season. She's always been willing to make big plays in big moments. She is so competitive, wants to win at all costs, and really has turned it up for South Carolina.
Misses the free throw, but Zia Cook playing to her potential. We saw the highlight reels in high school from Zia Cook, and now it's caught up with her in college.
Well, the mental has caught up with the physical, and she has learned to turn the page. She used to really measure everything on whether or not she was making shots. That's an offensive foul on Angel Reese.
Alexis Morris back on the LSU bench, but still favoring that left leg.
It's going to take a whole lot to keep Alexis Morris off the court. I think only Kim Mulkey can do that. She's going to be over there begging her coach to get back in.
They'll go inside to Saxton. Back out to Bree Beal. She's added the 3 this year. Not just a defender.
Oh no, she said, I got offense in my bag.
There's Kateri Poole for LSU.
You see Victoria Saxton playing off of Angel Reese.
That was a tough shot. Rebound by Aaliyah Boston. Bree Beal will bring it down the floor. Cook's waiting in the corner. Doesn't have to give it to her. Lay it in.
So much talk about Aaliyah Boston, Zia Cook. Bree Beal said, hey, call my name. She has done it defensively, now bringing the offense, not just bully ball to the basket, but also got three-point range.
Largest deficit for LSU this season. Quandre Johnson has to take a seat. She's got 2 fouls. That's another elite scorer.
With all the hype on this game, the home team has to bring it out of the locker room. Have to really establish command from the start, and that's exactly what South Carolina has done.
Alexis Morris back in the game, along with Angel Reese. And LSU's got too many players out there. Three-point play, Bree Beal. Poole gets the screen from Williams. Kateri Poole with the floater. It's off to the left. Cardoso comes down with the board. Fletcher to Boston. Offensive foul on Aaliyah Boston. Her first.
And keeping an eye on the rebounds. So far, LSU 0 offensive rebounds. That's where they have made their living.
These two teams go to the offensive glass so well. LSU third in the nation in offensive rebounds per game. South Carolina second in the nation in offensive rebounds per game.
So both coaches focused on, you have got to keep the opponents off the glass.
Alexis Morris won't go from the elbow. Samaya Smith, the second chance. Here goes Morris in traffic, high off the window. A third chance for the Tigers.
Watch the battle. Victoria Saxon and Angel Reese on the shot. The box out.
And a travel. That's 4 turnovers for LSU. It's an 8-0 run for South Carolina. They've hit their last 3 shots. This is the 2 from Fletcher. Yes! How about 88% from the field to start this game for South Carolina?
Dawn Staley said that she wanted to improve in 3 areas: 3-point shooting, assist, and field goal percentage. It is showing up for them today.
Alexis Morris with the crossover shot. Rebound by Cardoso. Six points for Zaya Cook. Alexis Morris floater, and LSU needed that.
Morris can take over. We talked about what she'd done the last 4 games. She is going to have to do more of that.
Angel Reese with the block of Saxton. Samaya Smith baseline. It's going to be a foul on the floor, and it's on Victoria Saxton. You know, we asked Dawn Staley about the mentality of this team. She said, look, this team wants to win. We have depth. They've accepted their roles. Maybe they don't always like it, but they've accepted it, and they're paying off.
What does Dawn like to say? They make the main thing the main thing.
That's right.
And the main thing for South Carolina is they're looking to go after another national championship, and you got to sacrifice self for the good of the team, and that's why the depth is able to come in and do what's asked.
30 straight wins for South Carolina. Their last loss was to Kentucky in that SEC tournament championship game. But the Gamecocks went on to win the national championship.
Well, it's a good eye-opener. And the focus defending the 3-point shot.
Fletcher with the block of Morris. Cook a little bit short.
Good recovery defensively by Zaya after the missed shot.
Kateri Poole. Look, LSU has heard a thing for getting Angel Reese to come to the be a Tiger. Angel Reese were originally looking at Tennessee or South Carolina.
After she came on her visit to Baton Rouge, she canceled her other trips.
Yeah.
Scoring in transition is going to be a benefit to LSU. Before the defense can get back and set, having to score against length, well, you can get to the bucket before they get there, you have a higher probability.
Camila Cardoso just picked up her first foul. South Carolina making substitutions, so Raven Johnson will run the point. Breezy Hall also in the game.
Raven Johnson's going to have the assignment of Alexis Morris. That's quick on quick.
Last tier, Polo with the floater. She's a sophomore. Was the top JUCO prospect. What changes when Raven Johnson comes in to run the point?
Well, transition is going to be there. And Johnson's ability to go off the bounce allows the defense to have to collapse on her, and then she can distribute the basketball. And Raven Johnson is a fantastic passer. She sees the floor so well.
Samaya Smith whistled for her first. Cardoso takes the seat. Aaliyah Boston back in the game. You know, we asked Aaliyah today at shoot-around about Raven, and she said, look, she sees things, but then makes it happen. No hesitation.
Boston talked about how Johnson will see something, and if other players see it, they think about it, then it's too late to make the pass. Raven Johnson has enough confidence that when she sees it, she goes ahead and lets it happen, and that makes good things continue to come about.
You like her coming off the bench as opposed to being the starting point guard?
I do. She's a freshman. Fletcher has that veteran leadership, get out to a good steady start, and then the speed can pick up when Raven Johnson comes into the game.
It's going to be a foul on Bree Hall. Letitia Mihir in now. The subs just, it's nonstop for South Carolina.
Dawn has so many options to choose from.
Yeah.
And when she goes to her bench, she can get faster, she can get bigger, she can get tougher, more defense, or bring more offense on the court.
And guys, we asked Dawn, how do you manage this long bench, this deep roster? And she said, I communicate. They don't have to like it, but they picked this team for a reason, and they have to earn it. Number one, she chooses by how they prep. Number two, the matchups. And number three, put them out there and see how they do. They are earning their playing time, and Dawn is keeping it real with communicating with them what they have to do to stay out on the floor.
Holly, you're so right. And Dawn also said, not only am I honest, and she doesn't want them to like it. With her honesty, she wants them to compete and want to be on the floor, want to get more minutes.
Zach Cook loses it in traffic. Here comes Poole. Back to Poa. Deflected from Reese, but Samaya Smith working for it. Alexis Morris.
Morris is a bucket for the Tigers when they need one. But here's the matchup we wanted to see. You got Angel Reese defending Aaliyah Boston.
Boston, the reigning National Player of the Year. Angel Reese, a candidate for Player of the Year this year. It's an 11-1 run for LSU. Zaya Cook, she's got her shot today.
Oh, she is locked in, Zaya Cook. She's finding her opportunity. She's playing so composed.
Morris fires the three again. Rebound by Letitia Mihir.
That's Angel Reese, got tied up with Aaliyah Boston.
That's her second.
You watch how Angel Reese has Aaliyah Boston tied up with the arms as Boston's trying to get it loose. The officials, they see it, they call it. That's number 2 on Angel Reese.
So Reese takes a seat. Aaliyah Boston at the free throw line. South Carolina, both teams in the bonus here for the last minute 15. How long can LSU afford to keep Angel Reese on the bench?
If the Tigers can keep it within single digits, it's going to be tough with the way that South Carolina came out. And if they continue to attack, dominate, and extend it to double digits, then Kim Mulkey's going to have a tough decision to make.
Kateri Poole short on the three. Here's Raven Johnson, and she's going to push. Free throw line. Boom!
That's a freshman for South Carolina. The big question was, how does South Carolina replace a point guard like Destiny Henderson, who was on the national championship team? Well, she's got this freshman that's sitting there ready to take over.
Alexis Morris with the answer. 7 points for Morris. That's big too. Remember, Alexis Morris a little banged up early in this game, but has come back in. Letitia Me here. Double team, jump ball, possession arrow, South Carolina.
One of the things that I have seen South Carolina improve with this season is the ball movement, the sharing of the basketball, the catching of the ball, knowing what you're going to do with it before it even arrives in your hands, just thinking ahead.
Boston 3 points and a rebound and an assist. She'll take a seat. Ashley Watkins in now, number 2 in white for Carolina. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Cook rejecting the screen. Morris from almost half court. South Carolina up 24-15. Angel Reese, 2 points, but also 2 fouls. This presentation of college basketball is brought to you by UFOS. Feel the U. Now, obviously, Dawn Staley, big Eagles fan. It's a big day for her. Maybe hoping for the same feeling she had in 2018.
Yeah! Told y'all it was destiny. Told y'all. Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles.
Well, North Philadelphia, born and raised. She grew up on the corner of Diamond Avenue and 25th Street. She said Jalen Hurts actually FaceTimed with her when he was doing a coat drive at her old Boys and Girls Club at the Hank Gathers Center. And she said, he's in my phone, but I think it's more appropriate that Dawn Staley is in Jalen Hurts' phone. She is a diehard fan. She has a big party planned later tonight, but she didn't want me to say it on TV because people would try to crash it.
If our flights get canceled, we don't make our flights, guys. Can we go?
Yes, I think we are invited.
I'm riding with Courtney to the airport. I'm going to purposely delay her so we don't make it so we can go to that Super Bowl party.
Let's do it.
She's sporting the Randall Cunningham jersey today. South Carolina out to a 24-15 lead. What was the difference in the first 10 minutes?
The first 10 minutes was from the start, off the jump ball. South Carolina was attacking the basket, going to the rim. Now you see coming out in the second quarter, what did Kim Mulkey call? But a quick play for Alexis Morris. And what Morris tell us? Speed kills.
Speed kills.
She's got that quickness.
Yeah, Angel Reese on the bench with 2 fouls. Reese just 2 points and 1 rebound. She's seeking her 24th consecutive double-double today.
South Carolina mixing up how they're guarding Alexis Morris. Putting size on her now with Letitia Me here.
And they turn it over, and then LaDeja Williams whistled for the foul. Williams played her freshman season at South Carolina.
Now, who have we seen guard Alexis Morris? First it was Fletcher, then it was Raven Johnson, now Letitia Me here. So you're trying to mix things up and not let her really predict who's guarding her and where she's going to be able to find the ability to score.
Half of South Carolina's points today have come in the paint. That's not a surprise, and Raven Johnson is going to the free throw line.
You just look at the size that South Carolina has on the floor, and you put Aaliyah Boss in a ball screen, her defender's not going to leave her, right? So that gives Raven the ability to find her shot.
Raven Johnson was so big in that LSU win for South Carolina. Season high 14.7 assists, but the most impressive, 0 turnovers.
That was huge with the defense that Connecticut brings. And Johnson likes to pass it. It wasn't like she was just holding on to the ball.
10 seconds now for the Gamecocks. Into Boston. Letitia Mihir might have gotten away with a travel.
She did. She traveled. She shuffled her feet before she took off.
Alexis Morris, she has been LSU's offense today. That's 11 points now.
And she can be a one-man wrecking crew with her ability, pull up mid-range three and go all the way to the rim.
And that's becoming more consistent for her too. Samaya Smith whistled for the foul, her second.
Look, Morris knows that she can get off screens and find an opportunity. She's calling for that ball screen. Smith nails her with it, then snakes it a little bit before Watkins can get there, and that gives her just enough time for that jumper.
Ashlyn Watkins shooting the first, misses. We got another great women's game for you. This one in the Big 12 coming up on Monday on ESPN2 in the app. Number 20 Texas taking on number 21 Iowa State. It's a rematch in Hilton Coliseum. Coverage begins 7 Eastern. Texas took that first meeting.
In the last 2 games, Sonia Morris has not been able to play. That's the 3rd leading scorer for the Longhorns.
Four seconds now. Ravens got to go. Pull up the long 2. Rebound by Kateri Poole. Angel Reese is waiting to check in for LSU. She's got 2 fouls.
LSU keeps bringing that high ball screen for Morris, and she's able to make it happen.
It's been incredible what Alexis Morris has been able to do at LSU. She's moved over to the point guard position this season. That's been different than she's played in years past.
But Alexis Morris is a headsy player. She's a baller. She can see the floor, know when it's her time and when it's able to go in.
Traveling violation on Letitia Mihir. Here comes Angel Reese. 23 straight double-doubles. That's an SEC record to start the season. It's the 2nd longest streak overall. She checks back in 2 points and a rebound.
And I'm keeping an eye on whether it be Aaliyah Boston, it was Victoria Saxon in that first quarter. When the shot goes up, when it's on LSU's end, that is the number 1 focus, is to keep Reese off the glass.
That's not easy.
No, it isn't. Watch Ravens surveying the court, looking for opportunities.
Gives it to Boston in the high post.
Boston's court awareness.
Dishes it, gets it right back, bucket.
Well, and she's got a vision like a point guard. How does she see the pass all the way in the corner? The defense shifts, comes right back to her. She knows she's got space to knock it down.
5 points, 3 rebounds for Aaliyah. Alexis Morris just working, make it 15 now. She had a career-high 31 points in that win against Tennessee, and in that game, she was just 1 for 3 from three-point range, too.
Well, because she was able to take anybody she wanted off the bounce.
And we've seen that today. She's gone inside multiple times. South Carolina has led by as many as 16. Cook in trouble. Raven Johnson. Rebound by Cardoso. It's going to be LSU ball. That's a foul on Johnson.
Aaliyah Boston's court awareness. You watch her. She finds Bill over in the corner, makes the defense kind of flatten out. She gets it back, and it gives her just enough time. And I'd love the versatility of Aaliyah's game. She can beat you in the paint. Then she's got the 15-footer to go along with that complimentary three-point shot.
How is her role, or is it different from last year on that national title team?
I don't think her role is that much different. She has been dominant and just playing, and wherever Dawn Staley has needed her, I think everybody else has upped their game around her.
It's been the Alexis Morris show. LaDasia Williams with the shot fake and the lay-in.
Now, that was a problem Camila Cardoso had against Connecticut. Don Staley had wanted her to allow Aaliyah Edwards just to take that jumper. I think the same is true with LaDasia Williams, but Camila was out there and LaDasia's shot fake went right past her.
Zaya Cook! She just hung in the air. Cook's got 11.
The pieces that you need, a strong point guard, a perimeter game, and a post is a terrific recipe to repeat for a national championship.
Morris guarded by Fletcher now. This is how they started the game, this matchup. Outlet pass to Cook. Pulls up. Bree Beal on the boards. Lost it. Jasmine Carson going.
It's good transition defense by South Carolina.
Tough shot on the baseline by Angel Reese. She's 1 for 5 from the field. Boston all alone. It helps when you have Camila Cardoso down low to rebound.
That is a bookend twin tower combination that is a force with Aaliyah Boston and Camila Cardoso together.
South Carolina still on top here in the second quarter. The biggest game of the season. 2 undefeateds here in Columbia.
Inside our college basketball studios, Brick, Rebecca, and Monica coming up on the Jeep Halftime Report. Hard to believe that Selection Sunday is 1 month from today. We'll check in on the top 25. This matchup for LSU, Reese Johnson in foul trouble, and yet Alexis Morris has been the show.
She's stepped up big time, particularly in the second quarter. Been able to steady this team by keeping it simple, quite honestly. Brick, she's getting to the paint.
South Carolina on fire in that first quarter, 67%. Cooled off a little in the second, but what do? They get to the offensive glass, 6 offensive boards.
7 players for South Carolina in scoring so far. We'll see you at the half.
Kim Mulkey has to feel very fortunate, Kim Mulkey has to feel very fortunate that they're only down 7 because it has been a very frustrating day for Angel Reese. They've done a terrific job for the most part of keeping her off the glass. They've drawn offensive fouls. She's gotten a little bit of foul trouble, and then one offensively, it's really been tough for her to come up with easy baskets.
Angel Reese right now takes a seat for LSU, 2 points, 1 rebound. Her season low is 11 points and 10 rebounds.
Aaliyah Boston has Jasmine Carson.
And Carson beat her to the baseline.
Carson's got to use her quickness as much as Aaliyah Boston is on her.
Look, LSU came out in this game. I think the crowd got to them. They had some turnovers. South Carolina scored quick buckets. I feel like they've settled in a little bit.
They have settled in, and offensively, just like they talked about in the studio, LSU has kept it simple. You know, one-on-one with Alexis Morris. They're taking her off ball screens. A backdoor cut by Jasmine Carson. That would allow LSU to chip away at this lead.
And that's a turnover by Morris. Look, this is a big game for both teams, obviously, but if LSU were to win today, Charlie Cream says that moves them to a #1 seed. They'd be #4 overall.
Well, they would be able to do something Stanford wasn't able to do, something Connecticut wasn't able to do. So that would, I think, gain the respect of the committee of LSU of moving them to that top line.
Aaliyah Boston's going to the free throw line. If South Carolina were to lose today, they do not move off of that #1 overall seed line.
South Carolina, no, because when you look at their strength of schedule and the number of top 50 net teams that they've played and won against, no, that would not move them off that from being a 1 seed.
They're 4-0 against ranked teams this season. They've won 18 straight games against ranked opponents.
They got the talent to do it.
Yeah. Samaya Smith picked up her 3rd foul on that play that sends Aaliyah Boston here to the free throw line.
Not surprised with the experience that South Carolina has, along with their depth. And Kim Mulkey has even complimented how good they are, talking about South Carolina.
She was asked about the rivalry, and she said, I don't know if it's a rivalry yet because South Carolina's on another level. We're trying to get there.
Yeah, she compared them to the team she had when she had Kalani Brown and Lauren Cox.
Oh, Bree Beal! LaDasia Williams gets it back. 8 seconds. Patience for LaDasia Williams in the bucket.
Like, this LSU team is going to crawl. They're going to claw. They're going to battle. There is no give up in this team in purple. The strength and power that South Carolina has. It's not just inside, but on the outside. Bree Beal with the block and then head the other direction. And then Aaliyah Boston. She has seen single coverage, double teams, triple teams. She still can find a way to manufacture points.
Second foul on LaDasia Williams. 3-point play for Boston. She'll take a seat. Saxton comes in. Boston with 10 points, 3 rebounds. Some foul trouble for LSU. LaDasia Williams, Flau'jae Johnson, Samaya Smith, Angel Reese, all with multiple fouls. Kateri Poole driving in, and that's going to be a foul on Camila Cardoso, her second. Well, our next Big Monday doubleheader on ESPN at 7 Eastern. Number 19 Miami plays UNC at the Dean Dome. Then number 5 Texas in Lubbock to take on Texas Tech. Wednesday on ESPN2, we've got Brandon Miller in Alabama facing number 6 Tennessee at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville at 7 Eastern. Tennessee fans, back-to-back buzzer beaters.
Last night, that big shot against Missouri, losing at the buzzer on a 3-point shot. Got to trap the ball or foul before it gets that close.
Austin Nashville to Vanderbilt previously in the week on a buzzer beater 3.
Tyron Lawrence hit a big 3 in the corner.
South Carolina has led by as many as 16 points today, but LSU not far behind now. Kiera Fletcher inside. LSU has actually outscored South Carolina in the second quarter by a point.
South Carolina off and running, trying to push in transition.
Oh, Victoria Saxton went up. There's a foul on the floor. If that's it is on LaDasia Williams, that's her third.
Well, Kiera Fletcher went straight at Angel Reese, and Angel Reese couldn't do anything about it. Remember, she's got those 2 fouls. She didn't want to pick up her third before they head into the locker room at halftime.
So Amani Bartlett is going to come in, number 23 for LSU. LaDasia Williams takes a seat with 3 fouls. Samaya Smith also has 3 fouls for the Tigers.
At what point would LSU switch up their defense maybe and go a little zone? Because they've got to protect their main players that play the majority of the minutes and are productive defensively, maybe force South Carolina to take some outside shots.
Kateri Poole getting all she wants from Bree Beal.
Look at Bree, she just constantly, look at, she's smiling while she's doing, hawking the basketball.
And Angel Reese is fouled by Letitia Amihir. Angel Reese 1 for 6 from the field, 2 points and a rebound.
But you and I have both seen Angel Reese be frustrated in the first half and come out like a monster in the second.
Oh, goodness, yes.
She'll regroup. She will evaluate what went wrong in the first half and come out and really work some magic in the second.
Was it the Tennessee game we saw that happen?
It was the Tennessee game.
LA to the rack.
Well, South Carolina doesn't have to settle for jumpers right now. They continue to attack. There's not a lot Angel Reese can do about it.
22 paint points for South Carolina. Jasmine Carson has it. A little bit short on the reverse.
Too much length. Victoria Saxon, I think, had a little bit to do with that miss.
South Carolina can take the last shot of the half. Angel Reese with the block. That could be the catalyst she needs heading into the locker room, but South Carolina up 10. You see the numbers for our two stars. 10 points, 3 rebounds for Aaliyah Boston. Just 3 points and a rebound for LSU's Angel Reese. Dawn Staley is with Holly.
Well, Coach Staley, rebounding such a huge part of this game. You're +9 right now on the boards. What have you seen from your team's determination?
Well, they fight. They fight. They're relentless. I mean, we got a couple of people on this side of the ball the ball is magnetic to them. I mean, Camilla, Aaliyah, LA, they all like the rebound. Victoria, so.
You guys have done a nice job defensively on Angel Reese, but what do you need to do better on Alexis Morris? She's hurt you a little bit.
Man, we got to pray on that one. We got to pray on that. She's good. She's doing exactly what I thought she was capable of doing, which is she can score in a lot of different ways. We're just gonna try to tire her out and see if the fourth quarter she still has the same spring that she has shooting the ball over us.
All right, is this a real vintage run, Cunningham?
Mitchell and Ness. Philly's own. Mitchell and Ness. There we go.
South Carolina taking a 10-point lead into the locker room. Let's get you back to the studio with Brick and the gang.
Courtney, thank you. Well,
PN, 2 undefeated teams. South Carolina up 42-32 on LSU as we get set for the third quarter. Kim Mulkey is with Holly.
Well, Coach, a tough start for your group, but how did they come back and show some resilience?
Hey, they think they're pretty good too. Listen, they jumped on us like the defending national champion should, and it started at the tip. I was proud of the fact that we cut it at one point to 6. We didn't have some good offensive possessions before the half. Obviously, we all know what they do on the offensive boards. That's a factor, but we're giving up too many layups from the perimeter. We've got to get to the foul line as equal amount of times as they do. Just keep fighting. You're playing a great team. Nobody else is beating them, so let's go out there and play a little bit.
Sounds great. Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
The crowd has been awesome. A sold-out Colonial Life Arena. That helped South Carolina get out to an 18-2 run to start the game. Courtney Lyle and Carolyn Peck with you. But as we saw, LSU kind of chipped away there, and Alexis Morris was a big part of that. It's just so hard to slow down the depth of South Carolina.
Well, the biggest thing that LSU has got to do is they've got to be able to defend without fouling. That early foul trouble, I think, really hurt LSU. But that's a tall assignment when you look at the versatility of which South Carolina had the ability to score. They got a little bit from everybody. It wasn't just Zion Cook and Aaliyah Boston, but it was the and others that were able to get baskets either in the paint from 3. But LSU is going to have to find a way to get those points in the paint and get to the free throw line.
Let's take a look at our first half stats. They're brought to you by Target. South Carolina, you were watching rebounds. They're +10 in that category. South Carolina also has the advantage in the paint. Both of these teams like to score inside.
Not only South Carolina +10, the most important stat is Angel Reese only has 1 rebound from that first half.
She was in foul trouble, as were several LSU players, and count the bucket for Aaliyah Boston. Back to the free throw line. But coming into this game, you wanted to see Aaliyah Boston and Angel Reese. And South Carolina's made it really tough on Angel Reese, just 3 points and a rebound in the first 20 minutes.
There's a lot of conversation about National Player of the Year. Aaliyah Boston is the reigning National Player of the Year. Angel Reese with those 23 consecutive double-doubles. is in the conversation. Can she get to her double-doubles in this second half?
Look, we have seen Angel Reese before come out of the locker room at halftime with fire. It can happen. LaDasia Williams up and in off the glass.
LSU not trying to do anything magic, just simple, basic. Execute their offense, take high percentage shots, and then try to string together back-to-back stops against South Carolina. And they switched up and gone to a zone.
Now that foul trouble definitely a factor in their change of defense. Angel Reese picked up 2 fouls early, along with Flau'jae Johnson. Samaya Smith and LaDasia Williams both have 3 fouls already for LSU.
I was wondering when LSU was going to switch to that zone action and try to make South Carolina score from the perimeter.
That's last touch by LSU. Angel Reese had the stop of Bree Beal underneath.
Reese is playing a little bit more risky now that she's entered the second half with those 2 fouls. Now you've got Mouse in the house, Alexis Morris on Aaliyah Boston.
They'll shoot right over it, but Boston misses. And that's a foul on Victoria Saxton, her second. South Carolina led by as many as 16 in the first half. LSU just their second-ranked opponent of the season. Charlie Cream says a win today for LSU, and they move up to a #1 seed.
And to come in and defeat South Carolina on their home court, I think if LSU were able to pull that off, they would earn it.
No matter the outcome, South Carolina remains the #1 overall seed. Let's just stay with the Tigers. Just 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Keep an eye on Alexis Morris, the inbounder, to give it up and look for it to come back.
She had almost half of LSU's points in the first half. There she goes. Got her own rebound in the putback. 17 points for Alexis Morris. Boston in all kinds of traffic. Angel Reese has the rebound. Jasmine Carson alone.
Keep an eye. Dawn's got to be careful. Not allow the momentum to shift to LSU. They've gotten to stop and they've gotten out down the court, scored in transition.
It's a 6-0 run for LSU. They go baseline to Saxton on the block. And that's the 4th foul on LaDasia Williams. Where South Carolina has the depth, LSU doesn't go that deep.
That is true, but if LSU can keep Angel Reese on the floor, keep Flau'jae Johnson on the floor to help out Alexis Morris, look, they are starting to chip away at this lead.
Nobody waiting to come in and take out LaDasia Williams, who just picked up her 4th.
I think Kim Mulkey, she's rolling the dice a little bit.
Oh, excuse me, they gave that foul to Flau'jae Johnson. That's her 3rd. So LaDasia Williams with 3.
Again, watch Alexis Morris, number 45, inbounding it. They worked on a lot of offenses where she inbounds it, and then the offense is geared to get her a shot.
Reese in the high post. Pass Saxton. 5 points, 4 rebounds, Angel Reese. She's looking for that 24th consecutive double-double. That's the 4th on LaDasia Williams.
But Angel Reese has come to try to turn things up, driving to the basket. Angel Reese, most of her shots she shoots with that left hand, but she can go either direction. Defense was looking to cut off the left-hand drive. She came back to that right.
Inbounds to Saxton. You know, going back to Reese, we talked to Ken Mulkey a couple of games ago about what she likes most, her motor for Angel Reese, and it's contagious.
Well, Angel Reese is so competitive. You see how she is going to work. As long as there's time on the clock, she got an opportunity to try to pull off a win.
Zaya Cook gets swatted away by Samaya Smith.
Smith with the swat, trying to protect the paint. Woo, Zaya Cook. She got you on that one.
Look, Samaya Smith, she's a tough freshman. Grew up on a farm in Texarkana. Loved the chores. Actually had to do them when she went home for Christmas break. Cook with the response.
The execution, and especially Zaya Cook finding those opportunities.
Angel Reese up to 7 points.
Reese is going to work in the paint. She is now going one-on-one against Victoria Saxon. Even gave the symbol of too small.
Taken away by Poole.
That's terrific defense by Fletcher there to slow down the ball, take away that transition opportunity.
Kateri Poole trying to break her down. Victoria Saxon on the floor for it. Jump ball possession arrow to LSU.
Angel Reese is trying to go to work inside in the paint. She went at Victoria Saxon. What'd she say? Too small. It doesn't matter what your bio may say height-wise. If Reese can score on you, she thinks you're just not big enough.
Well, Angel Reese has all kinds of swag. She grew up playing on the same team as her brother, and she actually won MVP on that boys team. She said, I just learned that I had to play big, show my personality, be who I am. And you absolutely love to see it out here. She is just so fun to watch. She said, everybody's too small for me. I don't care how big you are.
Yeah, she's got the passion for sure.
And she's got game. Remember, Angel Reese came out of high school. She was the number 2 overall recruit, number 1 wing player in the country.
She's found her place inside, that's for sure. South Carolina saves it just in time, and they still have time on the shot clock. Look at Boston directing traffic. Bree Beal, it's going to be short. Up ahead to Morris, stopped by Cardoso.
You're coming at 6'7", you might think twice about this one, because Camilla said, not today.
Four blocks for South Carolina. Camilla Cardoso, by the way, had 9 rebounds in the first half.
In 9 minutes. Let's do it work.
She averages 8 a game. Got that. There's Morris, the catalyst for LSU in that first 20 minutes. That one bounces out.
Boston and Reese again finding each other.
Lay in for Zaya, up to 15 points.
Zaya recognizing her opportunities. You can't help off the size of Cardoso in Boston. That allows the lane.
Samaya Smith going around 6'7", Cardoso.
That freshman ain't scared.
Not scared at all. Cook inside to Boston. Patience from Aaliyah Boston. We talked to her at shoot-around. I said, Aaliyah, what's key for you today? She goes, I have to stay composed. I have to play defense, rebound. If my shot's not falling, I got to remember those other things, and my teammates help me do that. There's some good defense. Angel Reese hits the ground. No foul called.
South Carolina's got numbers with Reese back.
Cook driving and going to the free throw line.
It's a battle in the paint with these two. It's a little bit of a block party. First, you got Samaya Smith with LSU, but Camila Cardoso said, not in my house.
Angel Reese is starting to ignite, and she is unapologetic about the way she plays.
I've been through so much as far as growing up in Baltimore, where you play outside, you get it out the mud, you're in the hood, you're in, like, you see everything. I love talking trash and being friends with these girls after. Like, it's nothing personal, but I am really hungry to win, and I want to win, and I'll do whatever it takes to win, and I'm really passionate about the game, so that's kind of where it comes from.
You know, obviously she took a lot of heat on social media, and she put out there, listen, I grew up in the hood, and this is how we played. This is how I had to be tough to be who I am. And that tweet went viral. She got over 300,000 followers after tweeting that. Even Drake started following her this week. And she doesn't want to apologize for playing with fire and playing with passion, but she also knows she has to be smart with how she does it, not get technical fouls. In fact, I just saw her after she thought she got fouled and didn't get the call. She went over to the official, and he told her to calm down. She's like, okay, I got you. Fire, but be smart about it.
She shouldn't have to apologize, Holly, for how she plays. I love it. She is so competitive. And listen, if a player has to get in her head to get her amped up to play the way that she does every game, I'm here for it.
And Kim Mulkey said, look, I love the passion. I play with passion. I coach with passion. I want that. Now, don't cross the line, but keep your passion.
But you will see her. She will continue to battle. And she's going to try to make it for her team down the stretch in this second half.
Angel Reese just 3 points and 1 rebound in the first half. She's now up to 7 points, 4 rebounds. Zaya Cook's floater won't go. Into the hands of Alexis Morris.
You see now LSU trying to control the tempo of the game. They're not pushing in transition. They want to lessen the number of possessions in this ball game. Less opportunities for South Carolina.
That's the first on Zaya Cook. Beal checks in to replace Cook. Cook with 17 points to lead South Carolina today.
She had a great first half. Really composed, and I think setting the tone early. First out of the jump ball play was called for her.
Morris lets it fly. Samaya Smith. Man, she's been an X factor.
This is where LSU can get you, getting on the offensive glass, creating those second chance opportunities.
South Carolina has been in control of the rebounding battle, but keep in mind, these are 2 of the top 3 rebounding teams in the nation. 3-second violation.
Offensive rebounding on the shot. If you're not going to make the first one, make sure you have the opportunity to get the second. No contact on the box out from Samaya Smith, and she was able to get the 2.
And both of these teams crashing the offensive glass. It's impressive to look at the numbers. South Carolina rebounds 50% of its own misses. LSU is right there at 49%. These are 2 of the top percentages in the last 10 seasons.
Look, that's going to work. So you don't have to necessarily shoot it that great because you got cleanup inside.
Camila Cardoso.
Not a whole lot you can do about that. She is 6'7", and she has really emerged as of late with a determination to score.
Against ranked opponents this season, she's averaging 11 points per game, 9 rebounds. Today, 4 points, 10 rebounds. Reese working on Boston. Held ball, possession arrow, South Carolina.
Battling against each other. And I like that no call. Right, that was a block or a jump ball there. I like how the officials just let them play.
Cardoso's fouled by Samaya Smith. That'll be her 4th.
I like the lineup with Cardoso and Aaliyah Boston on the floor at the same time, and you see Dawn Staley putting them on the same side of the floor, so the defense has to decide which one am I going to guard, because the guards can just throw it up in the air, and they got 2 targets.
Yeah, we asked Dawn Staley about having Cardoso and Boston both on there, and she goes, well, it's great. Likes them both to play low. It makes you play man-to-man. You got to pick your poison.
You do, absolutely, because against a zone, you overload, bring them both to the same side. Either the zone's got to come with you, or if not, you got twin towers to toss it to.
Jasmine Carson back in. Letitia B here will check in to replace Cardoso. Pressure from the Gamecocks.
Trying to set up for a little run and jump action.
And Morris weaving away around South Carolina's height.
Morris is just unstoppable. Even against a press, she gets the layup.
She's got 19 points. Raven Johnson, baseline.
Watch Morris. She's able to just survey and search for her opportunities.
We heard Dawn Staley tell Holly at the half, we've got to pray and also hope that we tire out Alexis Morris.
She doesn't get tired. I don't see it.
Carson with a hand in her face. She's a three-point specialist. 20 seconds for South Carolina.
You got to look for that high ball screen.
Bree Beal. Give her the three! South Carolina up 64-48, their largest lead. The Gamecocks have won 18 straight against ranked opponents. Does that extend here in Columbia today? 10 minutes to go. For these two coaches, they're sparkly for sure. They have all kinds of things on their college career. National championship for Kim Mulkey, a two-time player of the year for Dawn Staley. Then they went on to help Team USA bring home some gold medals.
Well, Dawn Staley had 4 gold medals in the Olympics, but Kim Mulkey, she's got her 3 national championships, all at Baylor.
And 2 national titles for Dawn Staley, both here with South Carolina. You've got 2 coaches, too, who build their programs on similar values.
They're similar values in first team chemistry and playing together, then defensively, and then you got to dominate the glass.
Two undefeated teams. It comes down to this final 10 minutes. First time that both teams are 20-0 or better. First time in the SEC that both teams are 10-0 in conference play. It's the 8th time that we've had a top 3 matchup in the conference, the first since 1993. Okay, Victoria.
And Dawn Staley getting Aaliyah Boston a few more extra minutes. Rest, starting that 4th quarter. That just shows the depth that South Carolina has.
Bree Beal whistled for the foul. She hit the big 3 right at the end of the 3rd quarter. That's the first on Beal. She's got 9.6 rebounds.
She's had a fantastic game. The defense that she brings on the floor.
Foul on Raven Johnson before the ball was inbounded, so they'll now inbound on the baseline. Second foul on Johnson. Angel Reese, she's got 7 points, 4 rebounds.
She's got to go to work.
Foul whistled on Ami here. That's her second. Angel Reese chasing the double-double. She's had one in every game this season. 23 to start the year.
Keep an eye, LSU, that's the third foul on them. A couple more, and LSU could find themselves trips to the free throw line.
Gets the first. Two of the top women's teams in the Big 12 square off Monday on ESPN2. It's Texas and Iowa State round 2, this time in Ames. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern.
Now LSU bringing some full court pressure.
And Letitia Ami here on the other end, going to the free throw line. Foul on last year Poa. Her second.
Both of these coaches we talked about, they're building their programs. They've built their programs based on defense. So now you got to expect Kim Mulkey in this fourth quarter to get her team back in this game, full court pressure, try to force turnovers and force South Carolina to make free throws. Again, that Connecticut game, South Carolina missed 10 free throws.
Well, right now, South Carolina 12 for 23 from the free throw line today. That's 52%. Me here missed them both. Got the rebound, though. And she'll do it again.
This will drive a coach nuts. You have inside position and you don't come up with the rebound, give up another opportunity, and now Ami here is going back to the free throw line for 2 more.
And that's the third foul on Angel Reese. She picked up 2 fouls early.
You got to do your job from the beginning. You've got inside position. You got to make sure on a missed free throw you come up with it.
First is good by LA. Both of them drop in.
Dawn Staley now has Bree Bill on Alexis Morris. Another different look.
Now Bree Beal down low on Angel Reese. And Reese can go over the top. Timeout, LSU and Kim Mulkey. 8:39 to play. South Carolina leading LSU 68-52. Today's Wendy's Wooden Watch. 2 stars in this game. We started talking about them right before this game started. Angel Reese, her numbers impressive. Aaliyah Boston, the reigning National Player of the Year, and you see what they've done today.
Well, Angel Reese is going to have to do a little bit more to get her team back into this, but Aaliyah Boston, people want to talk about, what is she National Player of the Year? Absolutely, but she's got so much talent around her.
It helps too that they're experienced as well. Aaliyah Boston, part of the senior class that has made so much history at South Carolina. They came in as the #1 overall recruiting class. They've been to 2 Final Fours. They won a national title. They've only lost 8 games. They've only lost 3 SEC games in their career.
And remember, the NCAA tournament was canceled in 2020, and they were the favorite. Could they have possibly won?
We'll never
had a
know.
second national championship.
There is a banner hanging in CLA. Unanimous #1. Zaya Cook, the dump off, and it's an offensive foul on Cook. Well, you mentioned it for LSU. What's got to happen here in these last 8.5 minutes to catch back up to South Carolina?
I believe LSU's got to play through Angel Reese. And they can move her around, give her opportunities to attack the basket. Look, South Carolina has already committed 4 fouls. You get one-on-one opportunity. LSU can score while they're with no time running. And in South Carolina, they don't have to be in any hurry. They've got to just take care of the basketball. Look at how Raven Johnson can find Camila Cardoso anytime those two are on the floor together.
Never hesitated, went right into her. And Samaya Smith there on the cleanup.
I'm telling you, South Carolina can't get comfortable because LSU can make a run, and there is enough time to do it.
Raven Johnson coming around. And she is fouled by Alexis Morris. That's the first on Morris. Morris was the big reason LSU was able to hang in there in the first half. She had 15 points in the first half. She's had 4 here in the second half.
In the first half, Kim Mulkey was calling plays to her, really running a horn set and just letting her go off ball screen.
Boston to Cardoso, dangerous.
There's not a whole lot you can do with that. With Boston playing the high post and 6'7" Cardoso down low.
And Samaya Smith is fouled by Cardoso, her third.
When Aaliyah Boston gets the basketball up top, that hard duck in by Cardoso, just getting her going into the motion, into her shot. Double team can't get there, and not too much you can do about that.
You know, Aaliyah told us that Camila is determined to score now.
And that's what they've needed.
Yeah.
They've needed from Camila.
Samaya Smith at the free throw line. This is the first.
The Angel Reese coming to her freshman, building her confidence, going, you got this, you can make this free throw.
The crowd wanted her to miss both because in the fourth quarter you get a free chicken sandwich from a local fast food establishment.
This crowd,
18,000.
that is awesome. And I can remember back in the dark ages when I played, you came to South Carolina, wasn't nobody here. They were lined up to get in here tonight.
Everybody's here now.
You got that right.
And one coming. Fourth double-double for Cardoso over the last 7 games. And that's the 5th on LaDeja Williams.
When you have a 6'7" player that has hands like Camila Cardoso, just throw it up to the corner of the backboard. She can go snatch it down. And you talked about her determination to score. She is focused, gets the finish, and gets to the free throw line.
Look, she spent 1 season at Syracuse, was the ACC Co-Defensive Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year. And this summer was really big for her, spending some time with her family and her national team before coming back to South Carolina.
You guys, you talk about being determined to score. She's just determined in life. She came to this country from Brazil and played high school ball in the United States, and she didn't speak any English. She was having to use Google Translate. Well, after a year, she became fluent in English. She's a quick learner, and we're seeing her development grow. Camila Cardoso asserting herself on this Gamecock program this year in a way that she didn't last year, and it is an unstoppable duo in there right now with the Boston and Cardoso. I would say that is determination.
And Cardoso just got her 11th rebound.
Assertive is a great way to describe Camila now, Holly, and it's not that she's no longer in the role of just playing backup to Aaliyah Boston, but she's coming in to make an impact.
Give her the ball! Morris. And Kim Mulkey's going to call timeout. We step aside. South Carolina trying to pull away in Columbia.
Take control in this fourth quarter, second half. Camila Cardoso has been a huge part of that. She has 13 points, 11 rebounds. She has been just dynamite inside for South Carolina. When you got 6'7", ain't a whole lot you can do about that. When you watch, look, you've got Aaliyah Boston on the floor. Her defense has to come out there, so the duck in for Cardoso, and she's 6'7". Nobody can help. That's just an easy 2 for the big girl inside.
Double-double for Camila Cardoso. That's her 6th double-double of the season, the 12th time this year that she's had double-figure points in a game, sitting at 13.
I really think that Camilla's mindset has changed from being a reserve of backup, but to an impact player, especially when she's on the floor with Aaliyah Boston.
Diet Cook and swatted away by Angel Reese. Morris back the other way. Boston!
Morris didn't really think about that one, didn't quite think it all the way through. Coming at Aaliyah Boston, what'd you say, Lyle?
No,
wow.
ma'am. 8 blocks for South Carolina, 6 for LSU today. Angel kicks it back out to Morris. 6 seconds. That one swatted away by Aaliyah Boston too. Shot clock violation.
I know we've talked a lot about the fire of Angel Reese, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the fire of Aaliyah Boston. It just comes out different. It's this quiet burn. Her defense has been breathtaking today. You see her not letting anything go inside the paint. She's done a great job on Angel Reese with just 11 points, 4 rebounds, and Aaliyah Boston was the only college player on Team USA over in in Japan for the Olympics, but she got cut before the final roster. That has fueled her all season. She continues to improve. Trust me, that fire is there.
Aaliyah Boston is a leader on the floor. She thinks the game, a tremendous high basketball IQ. She directs traffic from her back to the basket out. It's like the reverse point guard.
Look, and watching her in practice, even if she's not in the drill or in the play, she is constantly talking, cheering on her teammates, correcting her teammates, pointing out what they should do. It's constant communication from Aaliyah Boston.
One of the things Don Stade told me that she told Camila Cardoso, you need to absorb as much from Aaliyah Boston as you can. The young freshman as well, Ashlyn Watkins, because that's what the future looks like for South Carolina.
Cardoso back to the free throw line.
Remember, Camila Cardoso, before she was at South Carolina, she was ACC Freshman of the Year. Her dominance continues to grow.
4th foul on Angel Reese, in danger of ending that double-double streak. Reese with 11 points, 4 rebounds. She's had a double-double every game. Is there any team that has the quality depth that South Carolina does coming off the bench?
Gosh, it's hard to, when you look at it right away, no. I mean, Stanford's got a little bit of depth, but to the level of going down 11 players of South Carolina, I don't think so.
Excuse me, 26 points off the bench tonight for South Carolina. 16 of those from Camila Cardoso. Morris's shot misses. Raven Johnson coming in with the heat. Yes!
Raven Dawn Staley knows where Kim Mulkey is going for buckets. It's going to be either Angel Reese or Alexis Morris, and Bree Beal is on Alexis Morris.
Aaliyah Boston whistled for her second foul. Angel Reese at the free throw line. Look, it's been incredible the impact she's had at LSU. 23 straight double-doubles to start the season. That's second longest in SEC history. It's the first in the SEC to start the season.
It was guaranteed pretty much every game when you saw Angel Reese, she was going to get a double-double. I was wondering what it would look like against the length and size of South Carolina.
Morris, mid-range.
Hey, that's a good decision. You got 6'7" coming down the floor. Pull up. Don't try to go all the way in on the attack.
23 points for Alexis Morris. Bree Beal. She's in double figures.
We talk about Aaliyah Boston and her stock, her value in the WNBA. Teams have got to be looking at Bree Beal. Now she has proven not just a defender, but a scorer also.
4 players in double figures for South Carolina. If the shooting percentage holds, it would be the 10th time this season that South Carolina has shot over 50% from the field. Count the bucket for Angel.
Well, guys, I know that Aaliyah Boston is the National Player of the Year from last season, but I personally have long thought that Bree Beal is the MVP of this team. She does so many things that will never show up in the box score. We've seen instances in this game tonight where she's guarding the speedy guard Alexis Morris, and then she switches over and is guarding the 6'4" Angel Reese. She can do everything. She's quiet, controlled, confident, and as that shot, she's now shooting 38% from 3 this year. I'm just a big fan of Bree Beal.
I know you are, Pat.
I am, and specifically on the defensive side. Holly talks about the other things that she does. When she is the primary defender, her responsibility is only averaging about 3.7 points per game, holding them to shooting about under 21%.
Yeah, it's impressive what Bree Beal does. SEC Defensive Player of the Year?
I think that she has got to be in the conversation for National Defensive Player of the Year. She's
right.
defended all 5 spots on the floor.
2 seconds, Zaya Cook. Raven Johnson, easy. Colonial Life Arena on its feet.
But South Carolina has demonstrated why they are the #1 team in the country.
A big question coming into today, how good is this LSU team? This is just their 2nd ranked opponent. What did you see from LSU today?
I think LSU is a very dangerous team, right? But the level of competition that they have played against versus South Carolina has been different. I think this is a great opportunity to experience for Kim Mulkey's team to understand this is the level you have to be where you need to be in order to compete with the big dogs, in order to get to Final Four. And I think that this experience will be a great lesson for her team. Now they're good. LSU got into some foul trouble, and that was a problem early, but that had a lot to do with the talent of South Carolina.
And South Carolina has plenty of talent, a bench full of talent, a locker room full of talent as they make subs. Standing ovation for the South Carolina players taking a seat. Aaliyah Boston today, 14 points, 9 rebounds. Can South Carolina repeat as national champions?
I think they can. I think that they have all the pieces. Everybody stay healthy. Experience plays a big part in the potential of getting back to the Final Four and playing for a national championship, because now we got a lot of players in that white uniform that know what it takes.
Angel Reese checks out, and the double-double streak will end. 16 points, 4 rebounds for Angel today. Put a bow on it, Raven Johnson. And then there was one undefeated team left in the nation. It's the South Carolina Gamecocks.
They got 5 different players in double figures. They have shown they can score inside, they can score out. They have shown that they are locked in together defensively and control the glass. Yes, that's a recipe for a possible repeat.
31 straight wins for South Carolina. They have beaten 19 straight ranked opponents, and today they did it shooting 57% from the field. Let's send it over to Holly.
Well, Coach Staley, there is a lot of pressure on your team to remain undefeated. How did they handle that and this stage and this crowd today?
I mean, they're walking in their truth. This is what they do. They build habits to play on the biggest stage of college women's basketball. And then this crowd right here, how can you not? How can you not rise to the challenge of playing in front of 18,000 screaming fans that pushed us over the victory line?
Your team was relentless on the glass, relentless defending a good LSU team. How did you see them rise to that occasion?
We don't want to lose, and we certainly don't want to lose in our building. We don't lose very often here. So we want to make sure that we took care of that. So, I mean, our players are, they're driven. They're driven. They're competitive. They want to win at all costs, and they want to do it for each other.
All right, one big win already today. What will it take to get the second big win that I know is on your mind, the other Super Bowl?
The Eagles have already won. Okay? It's divine order. Jalen Hurts. It's divine order.
She said it here first. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Holly.
Dawn Staley rushing off to get ready for the Super Bowl. A huge win. South Carolina, the only undefeated team in the nation. They take down LSU 88-64. 5 players in double figures today for the defending national champions.